Alrighty, welcome back to episode 18 of Book Nook Brews, in which this month we are covering The Martian. And in this episode, we are going to cover chapters 8 through 15. We are back with another nice little episode with a couple little changes that we wanted to mention at the start of the episode. We did want to say that now going forward, every episode is going to be posted on Tuesday, because it rhymes with Brewsday.
Yeah, so now Tuesdays are going to be Brewsday. We're going to be uploading that every Tuesday just because of scheduling conflicts. It just works out better for everyone. And then that way we also just have that like extra little time that we need to actually put it together well.
Yeah.
And, presentable and all that stuff. Sometimes it felt like rushed to get some stuff out, and it's just better to just have that extra day. Not extra day, but we're like kind of like shifting the schedule around just to fit our daily schedule well as well. So hopefully it's an understandable change. Hopefully it's not something that whoever's listening takes too bad or harsh. I don't know. It doesn't seem like much. It's just an extra day. And we also thought, just changing it to Tuesday kind of fit the brand a little better, just because it's brews, it rhymes with twos, brews, twos, Tuesday, Brewsday, in it, love. Brewsday, in it, love. So yeah, I mean that
was pretty much the main announcement of anything. It just fits a little bit more into the schedules and not having it so rushed, like you said.
Yeah.
Just makes it a little bit easier. Plus, Mondays are already kind of harsh, so why not have it on a happy, kind of dreadful day as Tuesday? But yeah, I mean, speaking of brews, this episode, we actually do have a brew.
Yeah.
I feel like it's been a while, but I feel like that's why it also kind of works into a schedule of having it, because now we're able to record a little bit more on like an evening.
Yeah.
So and it's usually when we're drinking the evenings, not really in the day.
Yeah.
Or like middle of the day. So my brew of the day is the Florida Lager. I think this is from a nearby brewery called the Crooked Can.
Yeah.
And this one just slaps. It's just so good. It's so good.
And then my brew is just a Guinness that we need to restock on.
Yeah, we came to the realization. I mean, it's good for us. It means that our stockpile has been preserved for a long time.
True. Yeah, we haven't gone in a while.
Yeah. Meaning not having to spend so much money.
Yeah.
But I think we're like down to 4 beers, and 2 of them are experimentals, which probably would have been good to try. But if we hated it, then we have nothing for the rest of the episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we're ready to get into the recap. Oh boy. I think I did it again.
Yeah, I think so. For those that are not familiar, Alexa has a okay, well, to set it up first, she sets these up, these sets of chapters kind of blindly, just kind of see how many pages are in the book, then we divide that by 4, then we see if it fits the number of chapters as well, and we kind of like divide that evenly, but without even looking at
what's in the content.
In the actual book and stuff, and what goes on in the story at that point. And so far, for 3 out of the 4 books, and every single one, you've managed to stop it perfectly at a cliffhanger spot. I think the only one that it didn't happen with was
Cersei.
Cersei, just because really there wasn't
a
point to leave it off on a cliffhanger. So now you are 4 for 5.
Gotta keep my streak going
on that. So, yeah, there's a little cliffhanger moment at the end, which we can get into once we finish this recap, which I think I can go ahead and start now.
Take it off.
Okay, so Chapter 8. Venkat Kapoor goes on CNN's Mark Watney report, hosted by Kathy Warner. They discuss Watney taking the rover out and speculate on what he might be doing. Venkat would prefer Watney not leave for Ares 4, but suggests he might risk it for communication purposes. Afterward, Venkat has a meeting with Annie Montrose, Mindy Park, and Teddy Sanders, as well as Mitch Henderson, the flight director of Ares 3. And Bruce, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that last name. It's just NG. The director of NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory. They discuss possible rescue plans and whether or not they should tell the Ares 3 crew that Watney survived. Mitch wants to tell them, but the others do not. Teddy proposes landing the Ares 4 pre-supply ship at the Ares 3 site so that Watney will have food. Later, Mindy alerts Venkat that Watney is on the move. Kathy has a few guests on her Mark Watney report, including Postmaster Marcus Washington, who talks about the Mark Watney commemorative stamp, and Dr. Irene Shields, flight psychologist for the Ares missions. Irene confirms that Watney is intelligent, resourceful, quote-unquote, with a great sense of humor. She states the biggest threat is giving up hope. She suggests his trip to the Ares 4 location may be for survival, or it may simply be to make contact. Later that day, Mindy and Venkat figure out that Watney is headed toward Pathfinder, a robotic rover that landed on Mars in 1997. Chapter 9. Mark Watney describes his routine on the road, which is a series of self-care activities and making sure the rover is adequately charged. He complains about the difficulty of navigating on Mars when it has no magnetic field and few recognizable landmarks. He has to rely on the moon Phobos to calculate his location. On Sol, or Day 81, just 22 kilometers away from Pathfinder, Watney ruminates on his pioneer status and also his loneliness, saying he would, quote-unquote, give anything for a 5-minute conversation with anyone. On Sol 82, Watney makes it to the site. He loads the smaller Sojourner rover into his vehicle and extracts the probe from the larger Pathfinder lander. On Sol 83, he builds a ramp of rocks and sand at 30 degrees to get the probe on the roof. Chapter 10. Watney travels back to the Hab. He picks up its signal on Sol 93 and makes it home on Sol 94. He returns the RTG, radioisotope thermoelectric generator, to its burial spot 4 kilometers away. On Sol 95, he begins his repairs on the probe. He replaces its dead battery and borrows an environmental heater from the gutted spare rover. Watney hopes for contact with NASA, thinking his best bets for picking up the signal are the Deep Space Network, or SETI, Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence. They would alert NASA, who would in turn angle the high-gain antenna appropriately. Pathfinder runs its sequence and acquires a signal. Chapter 11. Bruce teams of engineers work around the clock to establish an ad hoc Pathfinder control center. When they get the signal from Pathfinder, everyone cheers. Mark Watney now knows that NASA knows he is alive, and he is looking forward to talking to someone again. He admits that when he imagined what this moment would be like, he figured he'd jump up and down a bit, but instead he cries. Venkat Kapoor takes questions in the press room. He explains that while Watney, quote unquote, can write notes and hold them up to the camera, NASA can only communicate using the moving parts of the camera platform itself. They will have to follow Watney's lead in coming up with ways for NASA to get information to him. NASA receives its first handwritten note from Watney. It says, "I'll write questions here. Are you receiving?" His second note says, "Point here for yes," and Venkat has the camera pointed toward yes. Watney decides the easiest way for NASA to communicate with him is using ASC2, American Standard Code for Information Interchange, even though it is an incredibly slow and painstaking process. He has his first conversation with NASA, updating them on his status, how he survived on Sol 6, and asking for ideas for faster communication. He also says to tell Commander Lewis Disco sucks. Software engineer Jack Trevor comes up with a way for Pathfinder to communicate with Watney's rover. They send through a patch, and Watney is able to receive direct text. Andy Montrose asks for a photo of Watney and gets one where he gives a thumbs up. Chapter 12. In a flashback, Watney wakes up on Sol 6 to Commander Melissa Lewis calling out good morning to the crew. They eat breakfast and then do a surface EVA, extravehicular activity, despite the satellite showing a storm is coming. Crew member Chris Beck says that EVA seems needlessly dangerous, but Lewis dismisses his concerns. Lewis, Major Rick Martinez, Alex Vogel, and Watney go out to collect soil samples. Beth Johansson alerts them that the storm will arrive in 15 minutes, and they return to the hab. The winds become so high that Lewis orders an abort. They leave the hab in pairs to return to the MAV, Mars Assist Vehicle. Johansson and Watney bring up the rear. Flying wreckage hits Watney and tears him away from Johansson. Lewis goes to look for Watney while the rest of the crew continues to the MAV. Martinez preps for launch as they discuss Watney's lack of biofeedback. Beck assumes the worst. The MAV begins to tip, and Martinez attempts OMS, Orbital Maneuvering System, burn to counteract the tipping. Lewis makes it to the MAV, and they launch in silence. 4 months later, Beck completes his science projects for the day. They await their daily data dump. There is a voice message from Flight Director Mitch Henderson, who reports the stunning news that Watney is still alive. The crew begins to celebrate until they see how distraught Lewis is for leaving Watney behind in a quote-unquote barren, unreachable, godforsaken wasteland. Chapter 13. Mark Watney complains that NASA wants constant updates and they won't shut the hell up. He does appreciate all the personal mail he gets, especially a letter from his mother that he reads 50 times in a row. Watney also reports that he is learning Morse code in case, quote-unquote, Pathfinder craps out. With enough food supply to last him until Sol 900, Watney can wait for NASA to send a supply probe during a better transfer window. Watney and Commander Melissa Lewis exchange emails in which Lewis promises to buy Watney a beer back on Earth. Over the next few days, Watney works on his farm and takes care of a clog in the water reclaimer. Meanwhile, the reader is given the history of a strip of hab canvas from the production line to set up on Mars. Unfortunately, some carbon fibers separated in the storm, and every time Watney opened the airlock, the canvas was being weakened. It finally warps too far on Sol 119, and the hab is breached, blowing Watney away from the hab inside the airlock. Chapter 14. Watney throws a tantrum in the breached airlock, cursing Mars and deciding to give up. However, a few minutes later, he gets his wits about him and comes up with a plan. He shaves off some of his arm hair to start a fire so he can find the breach in the airlock and patch it up. It takes 4 tries, but he finally finds the hairline fracture and seals it up with duct tape. To fix his suit, he has to cut off one of the arms and repurpose the material. Because the seal is not airtight, he calculates he only has 4 minutes in the suit once he leaves the airlock. He decides to roll the airlock over to the hab to get Major Rick Martinez's EVA, extravehicular activities suit. He is unable to dislodge the whole suit, but takes the helmet into the rover. After a night of sleep, Watney returns to the hab for Martinez's suit and uses a pole for leverage. Then he assesses the damage. Most of the hab he can fix, but his farm is dead and, quote-unquote, potatoes are now extinct on Mars. He determines he only has enough food to last until Sol 600, which is 300 days less than what he had first determined. Chapter 15. Mark Watney communicates with Venkat Kapoor, updating him on his situation. Life support systems seem in good shape, and Venkat assures him they are working on a solution for his possible starvation. The department heads at JPL, Jet Propulsion Labs, meet to discuss the food shortage and possible scenarios for getting their probe to Mars by Sol 584. They have 475 sols left, and the trip to Mars takes 414. That gives them only 48 days to build the supply probe, Iris. The plan is to only send food. Astrodynamicist, Rich Purnell sends his calculations for courses for Iris, lamenting that, quote-unquote, Earth and Mars are really badly positioned. At a meeting, Teddy Sanders introduces Maurice Stein, the launch pad leader for Iris. Teddy suggests to Maurice that they could gain time by foregoing inspections, which would create a 2.5% chance of mission failure. Annie Montrose announces Iris's launch time. Iris contains food, handwritten letters, and a USB drive filled with music from all ages. Soon after Iris launches, the protein bars inside liquefy and cause a dangerous shimmy. Extreme forces cause a bolt to shear, and Iris crashes into the sea. Venkat gets a message from Watney asking about the state of the launch. And that is where that ended.
Unfortunately.
So yeah, you did it again. You ended it off with a cliffhanger, basically. So we saw the Iris ship and its food supply and everything else in there is now deep in the sea, and Watney is asking how the flight is going.
It's so terrible. Oh my god. I was really enjoying these chapters. It was very it was so enjoyable just to see how Watney responds to NASA.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
He's like, to him it's just another big corporate douche. Like,
it's like this. Yeah, sure,
like,
he's employed by them, but he's like, y'all shut the hell up.
Like,
I am literally the greatest botanist in Mars.
To us it's NASA. To him it's like, yeah, whatever. It's like, it's the company that keeps bugging.
Literally. I screenshotted a couple of things, which, let me go over just a few of them. I think I only got like 3 regardless. So in one of the first emails that he got from Venkat Kapoor, Venkat said, Mark, some answers to your earlier questions. No, we will not tell our botany team to go fuck themselves. He had also mentioned the Cubs finished the season at the bottom of the NL Central.
Yeah.
So sucks for him. What was it again? Also, an uncomfortable side note, NASA is putting together a committee. They want to see if there are any avoidable mistakes that led to you being stranded. Just a heads up, they may have some questions for you later on. Keep us posted on like your activities. And he's like, no, I will not participate in this investigation. Tell them to go fuck themselves. I'm like, oh my god, because he knows that they're gonna try to blame the commander, and he's like, it's not
their fault.
Like, Commander Lewis had nothing to do. They just followed protocols. That is literally it. Another thing, he's like, and to responding to that, he said no. He's like, also, please tell them that each and every one of their mothers is a prostitute. Signed off by Watney. P.S. They're sisters too. I'm like, oh my gosh, he's so ruthless.
And then after that, I don't know if it was directly after that one, but Venkat goes, please mind your language because this can be seen worldwide. And then he responds with, oh, look, a pair of boobs.
Oh, yeah.
And then sends the parentheses with the two periods in between.
And the V.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. That's very smart. And then another little standout moment when they were telling him about Iris. He's like, by the way, the name of the probe we're sending is Iris, named after the Greek goddess who traveled the heavens with the speed of wind. She's also the goddess of rainbow. Watney. Gay probe coming to save me. Got it. Hey, this is excellent. It's June. It's Pride Month.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God. I loved all the little bits from the communication between them.
Yeah.
And of course, everything is just too good to be true because we just had to have that awful moment where there's the accident with the have.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. And I liked how he called it a quote unquote hairline fracture because he used his hair to find it. But yeah, I mean, potatoes are now extinct on Mars because of that accident. So there goes his crops. His food is now 300 days shorter, or souls shorter. And yeah, his resupply is gone.
I'm just wondering how they're going to do it because this is what made me so angry that it just had to end here because it's like, okay, now what is he going to do? Because no more crops. The launch failed. He's already like teetering the lines of malnutrition or being malnourished overall.
Mm-hmm.
So what is the next plan? Because I doubt he's just going to find some plant there in Mars that'll save him, or extend his life chances. I'm wondering maybe there's just one little potato.
Yeah, maybe one potato left somewhere in there. Or who knows? Maybe there is a plant, you non-believer.
It's not that I'm a non-believer. It's just, I don't know how, I was going to say, I don't know how much this book would go onto the lines of things that have not been talked about in real life. But then again, it's a book, it's fiction. So
hey, there's a lot that has not been talked about.
Okay, true. But, I mean, I still think Rover is Wally. So we have that.
No, but you were right. I did want to go back and mention that Watney did ride one of the Rovers. I forgot which one's which. But one of them was a smaller one, and then he did ride on one. So it was a small rover still, but he did manage to ride it towards the other one. So maybe a bigger sized Wally for that one. But
I would kill to see a life-size Wally. Just saying.
I mean, they did make one, so hopefully one day it comes across.
Yeah.
Remember
although maybe not for the reasons of them just being trash in the world, although that is true, but
no, I meant at Disney or something. Because you remember, I don't know if you remember seeing that little clip. They have that show on Disney Plus where they show off the Disney engineering. Mm-hmm. And they do it's little, I don't know, 10, 15-minute episodes. But they did one where they built a Wally.
What?
And it's out I don't know if it's in New York City or something like that, and it's just going around. Man. We can watch that later.
Yeah.
But yeah, they actually built one, so I'm like, that's why. Maybe one day it'll be at Disney, or just maybe one day you'll be lucky while they're filming one of those episodes, and you just see it running around Orlando.
Oh my God, I would. I'd be screaming. I love Wally. He's just so cute.
But yeah, he found out how his Cubs were doing.
Yeah.
And to his surprise, it's how they were doing every year. So
I loved it. I like how they, he's getting nagged by NASA to just keep on doing these things. I almost feel like he kind of wishes he did not have the communication. Yeah. But I mean, for his chance of survival, he's like, might as well.
Yeah.
But like, I feel like he's like, dang, man, if they could just like know that I'm alive and then shut the hell up.
He literally said that. Yeah, shut the hell up.
Like, it's just like mom and dad just keep on bothering me, and I just want to, you know, do my own thing and just survive.
Yeah.
But now it just seems so difficult, like the path from here on now for him.
I'm very interested in watching the movie.
Yeah.
For one, the comedy, see if the comedy's delivered the same way. I trust Matt Damon, but I need it to hit in that
the same way.
Like, it doesn't seem forced to happen, because it's one thing reading it, right?
Yeah.
But for him, he's probably going to be saying it, right? Or we're going to be hearing his like note being read, but through his voice. I just hope he has the voice to, or the tone to deliver. If I remember
correctly, it almost seems cause I remember the short clips, not of the actual movie. I think like the trailers that I've seen, but I think it's almost him in front of a camera talking. Those are his logs.
Kind of like what they did in Avatar.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now I'm wondering if I'm confusing the two, but I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, because I don't think he has a camera up there. I think it's just a voice recorded.
Oh my God.
You might have been confusing.
Am I confusing the two?
I think so.
Oh no. I just feel like that's what I remember seeing.
That's okay. We'll just watch the movie.
It's fine. Yeah, we're going to watch the movie. So I feel like that's essentially what we're going to end up doing for like episode 4. Which is why I cut down the chapters a little bit shorter for that one, because I want to have enough time for us to
discuss them.
Yeah, read the remaining chapters, watch the movie, and then, which sucks for us because we're going to have to watch that movie and stay silent afterwards. Or maybe we'll watch it and then just record. Because there's no way we're going to like
stay yeah, especially me.
Yeah, no, we're going to
Yeah.
Oh, that's going to suck.
Especially if I hate it, I'm not going to stay quiet.
Yeah, no. The thing is, I am just going to see your facial expressions and I'm like, oh no.
Yeah. Yeah. For those that don't know, which is probably everyone that's listening, I am very judgmental of movies. Like, I take that very serious when sometimes maybe I shouldn't, because I'll even judge a kid's movie.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's just me. But yeah, so hopefully this one I can keep my opinions until the end, but we'll see.
Yeah, you're so overcritical.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as I see something.
Part for some movies, but yeah, like when we
yeah, like I think I was judging
like a kids one.
I was judging Despicable Me 3 without even seeing it.
I know.
And then the other day we watched. I mean, this is completely off topic, but I was judging it, and I told you, and I went on the rant as to why. But I mean, tell me not. It made sense. Like my theory, like what I was complaining about.
Oh yeah, no,
valid. Made sense, right? It was a valid thing, but I did it without seeing it, and then I watched it, and I was like, okay, that was pretty good. Yeah, that was pretty good. But I still think, and now this is going to be a controversial take that nobody asked for because this is a book podcast, but the Despicable Me franchise is oversaturated, and they are doing a lot for money.
They're marketing
I think it went too far, especially with all the Minion spinoffs and stuff.
I think Universal was just trying to make it a thing.
Yeah, like, and then now they have the whole park and stuff. Like, yeah, I don't know. To me, that would have been golden, and maybe like the Despicable Me series, do it in 3, and then make your Minion spinoffs.
Yeah,
right. Not because now they're trying to do a Shrek. Right now they're bringing it back. That Despicable Me 3 came out 2017. Right, so now 4 is coming out 2024. They're trying to do with what Shrek did, right? Like the 4th one came out a long time after the 3rd.
Yeah. The last Despicable Me.
But if it does what Shrek did, the 4th one was amazing. So the 4th Despicable Me could be amazing as well. Anyway, this is too far off topic.
It's a lot of lore.
I am sorry. I get back to the original point. I get very passionate about criticizing movies.
Meanwhile, you just have me, who's just here for the ride and just watching it to just watch it.
She's just there for the minions, and I'm there like, why did he say that? Like,
like he's like over here over analyzing. Like you over analyze, and then Marvel has you so I don't know what's the
wrapped
word.
Around their fingers.
Aside from that,
accustomed.
Tienen mal acostumbrado.
Yeah, accustomed. Yeah,
they have you so accustomed to looking towards the end of the movie for a credit. Like we watch everything,
everywhere, all at once.
Yes, and you were looking for
an end credit.
You were looking for an end credit.
Yeah, and then what did I say? I was like, you asked me, why are you looking for an end credit scene? And I was like, what if they're making what is it? Everything Everywhere All at Once? So I said, Nothing Nowhere at multiple times. It's like, what if they're making a second one? Nothing Nowhere at multiple times.
And then you did it the same with Despicable Me 3, which I guess is valid because, you know,
I mean, there's a
that
fourth
one's still
one,
ongoing.
Right, so,
but it's like that one is no.
Okay, look, I will say Marvel is to blame for a lot of things. Marvel is to blame for my overanalyzing of everything. I'm always looking for Easter eggs, for clues to the next thing.
True.
I'm always looking for end credit scenes. Now we always stay till the end of every movie.
Yes.
I do not care.
Even Oppenheimer.
But I mean, that also avoids crowds. We don't leave
true.
with everybody else, right?
True.
What else has Marvel done to me? I expect sequels. Like I need this to be like followed up. If one little thing, if you leave one loophole, I will judge you. I'm like, that has to be closed off.
And I think that has also brought you into like the way you do it with books too, because I feel like you're also that way with books, and you're like, I need this to be closed off. Is there going to be another one?
Yeah. You're
like, I need all loose ends tied up, otherwise.
And like that's why I always go back to the whole, if this were a movie, this character would need a series, right? Because it's just like Marvel. They have movies, but then they have these series for these characters that don't need a movie. And that's another thing Marvel has done. And then Marvel has also just torn me apart. So I tried to do that with every movie in revenge, in spite of Marvel. But then it also goes to just the typical movies that I like, right? Like Inception and stuff like that. Like those
get you thinking.
Yeah, those movies that get you thinking and leave a closed or a open ending also have me in this way of where I have to analyze,
theorize
everything.
I think what you enjoy the most is theorizing.
And then seeing that none of them come true and then shitting on the movie.
Because you like to theorize for anything.
Yeah.
Whether that be WWE, Marvel.
Anything with a storyline.
But even sports.
This is true.
Yeah, no, yeah. Even with sports.
Controversial take, it's because some of them were scripted.
You just like to theorize.
Yeah.
Which I guess that's why I like doing like these like the book podcasts, because we have to theorize of what's going on, because we're not reading the whole book all at once.
Yeah.
So now we have to theorize, hey, what's going to happen in the next one?
Yeah.
What's going to happen on this? And so you start to take it apart bit by bit, and then only to be disappointed because it doesn't go that.
Yep. And then that's when I'm like, all right, where can I apply? Because clearly I have the better storyline. So, and that's for anything. I'm like, all right, wait, here
me in the room.
Let me go be a Marvel writer. Let me go be a WWE writer. Like sometimes I express like WWE storylines, and I'm like, this makes sense, and this is how it's gonna go. And then they go a whole different route, and I'm like, that was disappointing as hell. Should have gone my way. And then it ends up going the way I had said, but in like 2 months, because they're building it up to that. And I'm like, okay, they got there, but 2 months too late. We could have had this back then when I wanted it. Now it's like something that and it's like, you know, it's like now I came up with 10 other storylines by then. But yeah, that's a way off topic, but all to say that I'm going to be hypercritical of this movie.
Yes.
And I am afraid I will not keep quiet. But maybe it would help if I have like a notebook, and every time I think of something that I want to say, I write it down.
No, do that. And this is what I was going to say. This is where I feel like we're so opposites. I am very critical of a book, but I'm not that critical over a movie unless it is about a book. Yeah. Then I get just a little bit more critical.
Right, because then you judge it of how accurate it is.
Exactly. Which is why, like, when I saw like the Divergent series or the Hunger Games series, I ended up being way disappointed. Twilight's kind of up there. It's kind of cringe now. I'm sorry, people. I'm sorry. They have some good
if this saves her from that hot take, I'll give you an even hotter one. The books are the same, dude. The books are the same.
Hey, say that louder for the people in the back.
The books are the same.
But whereas you enjoy the book. You enjoy the book the way I enjoy movies.
Yeah.
And then I'll say I am critical over books the way you are critical over movies.
Yes. But I will also...
Which is a fun take.
Yeah. And I feel like I'm hypercritical the way that you are with books that turn into movies. I'm the same way. I think that's why I'm so hypercritical of Marvel movies, because of the comics.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's true.
So that ties in the same way to that. But then for other movies, it's just
You're
the
just
movie.
Critical.
I'm just critical. Yeah. Anyway, that's why
you just like talking shit.
Yeah, really. I'm a certified shit talker.
Yeah, literally certified.
But yeah, so that's why I will be having a notebook during the watch party of The Martian.
Yeah. All for that to say that we're going to go really in depth.
Yeah. So that's why I'm thinking maybe that'll be an extra episode, because if we do it on the last one, yeah, you shorten the chapters, but we're doing long. the brews review. So if we do that, I think it's going to be way too long. So we might just have a bonus episode where we just
it'll
talk
probably
about
be later
the movie.
Throughout the week.
Yeah, we'll probably drop it in the middle of the week or something. Mm-hmm. Kind of as a bonus. Or if not, maybe drop it on the week that we're going to be off in July.
Oh, yeah. Which
good. Is a good another...
It's a nice little segue. We'll go back to the book in just a bit.
Yeah.
But just an FYI... so with how scheduling kind of works out with the way we read books, I have them to where we read them for 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Well, in July, there is an extra Tuesday per se in the month that rather than it just throws it off. I feel like if we shorten out the chapters, it goes a little bit shorter. So we just kind of decided to just take a week off in those months. And plus, my birthday is...
It also happens to be your birthday that month.
It also happens to be my birthday in July. It's my birthday month.
So that way we don't have to worry about reading during that week, because we'll probably be doing stuff. And then the week after that is our anniversary.
True.
Anniversary. So, I mean, we'll be taking that week off. Mainly... because of that extra week.
Yes.
But it also fits in perfect because of the stuff we're doing for your birthday and anniversary and stuff like that. So that way we take advantage of that week we have off. But we could probably have the episode for the movie recorded and just have it timed to upload that week. So that way you guys still get that review of the movie and also get an episode that week. So it's not really like we're going to be off. Mm-hmm. It's going to be just off for the book that we'll be reading.
Exactly. It's kind of like it essentially is just an extra video.
Yeah.
It'll probably be a short little, probably a 30-minute one or so.
Depending how bad the movie is.
Yeah, that's true.
Because then I'll go on for 2 hours and I will not be stopped until somebody takes the microphone away from me. And I will at the director and producer and the soundtrack artist and
this is why he's not in charge of the post or
yes,
or
keep the social media away from me.
Yeah, this is why you're not in charge.
I will let him have it. I'll let him have it. See,
because if I give you access to them, you're just gonna be posting them every single day, until they actually notice you or not.
Yeah.
It's just me.
Yeah. So, yeah, we'll have that episode out for that week off. We still don't know which week we'll be taking. It's either going to be the second or the third week of July, somewhere around there. But we'll keep you posted, and we'll have that movie review video or episode out as well. But yeah, anyway, back to the book.
A long little.
Well, it's because I feel like we did that because there's really not much else to talk about, right? We could theorize about the next bit, but
I mean, for the most part, this chapter just shows that one, he got in contact with NASA,
cool.
which dope.
But also, shut the hell up.
Yeah, but also, yeah, shut the hell up, NASA. Like, you guys may have like good botanists, but I'm the best botanist here in Mars because he's literally.
He said, "Tell the other botanists to go fuck themselves."
And then he had that whole accident.
Yeah.
Or incident.
Potatoes are now extinct.
Not even an accident, an incident where potatoes are now extinct on Mars again.
Yep.
Unfortunately, or I guess it's the first time, but no more potatoes. I'm still kind of hoping that he may just have a reserve of potatoes somewhere, but he would have known.
Or maybe with the little accident, maybe a potato seed or something got away and it landed on the surface of Mars.
And is now growing.
And is growing. And that's how we find out there's life on Mars.
Ayo. You guys heard it here first.
NASA's hiding shit from us, guys.
So there's that. Oh, I had just another thought in my head.
Oops.
I know.
I got too far into the potato talk.
No. I know how to do something around that. I'll skip forward. But essentially, you know, he has that little incident. Now it's just a matter of, okay. And also NASA screwed up big time. Not so much them. It was just.
Well, they had a 2.5% chance of doing that, and they did it.
Yeah, the odds were not in their favor, unfortunately.
I mean, hey, let that be a lesson to everyone. If you have a minimal chance of doing something, it could still happen.
Just do it. Shoot your shot.
You have a, what is it, like a 0.5% chance of winning the lottery or something? There's still a chance.
There would be signs. But NASA now has to navigate what they're going to do with him. And essentially, everything is now boiled down to how is Watney going to survive this or not? Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, really, that's the biggest point. I just want to get back into the book just so I can know what's going on.
Yeah, like I don't even want to theorize. I just want to know how Watney finds out about the ship. I'm assuming he's gonna find a way to get. Yeah.
I remember, this is just a little thought on Watney. Personally,
yeah,
I love when he throws his tantrums.
Yeah,
I love it because he has like one page or so of just throwing a tantrum, be like, "This sucks. I'm gonna fucking die. Everyone is going to hell."
He just loses all hope.
Yeah, he loses all hope, and then he like has him like a little breather, comes back on. It's like, all right, I threw my tantrum. So I've been thinking, I think I know how I'm going to.
And comes up with a whole solution of how to go back to Earth.
I know. And it's like, dude.
Like that's the little breather he needs. He just likes to throw a fit.
Which is good. I feel like that's such a nice way for him to just kind of get everything out.
I mean, he is up there alone, so he could do whatever the hell.
Oh, no, he should.
He wants, right?
He should. He should do whatever he wants, even show boobs. You know, and be like, ooh, boobs. That was just the one thought I had. I was like, I just wanted to bring that up. I really love how he just has little tantrums and then comes back to reality afterwards.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that's pretty much it, though.
I think so. Next week we'll be covering, what is it, 15?
16.
Oh, yeah, 16 through, 16 through 21. 16 through 21.
And then the last bit is 22 through 26.
Yeah. And then we have the movie and then the Brews review. So, I don't know. June is coming to a quick close.
Which is crazy because it is only the 10th.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But if we're going by the book, there's
only 2 weeks left. Weird. Yeah, I know.
But yeah. I mean, I'm enjoying the book so far. I feel like this set of chapters was probably more enjoyable to you. Less chemistry.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was a lot of just, I guess, kind of like banter per se. But it was a lot of wanting now, kind of getting the hang of things. Now the
like his
communication
actual
is going.
personal side and
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
Like I'm more like into the book of like actually going through it and reading rather than like taking little breathers.
Right.
Which is very nice. But
Yeah.
I'm liking it. I really am right now.
Our cat just woke up and went to the room real quick and came out with her wand and has dropped it in front of us. So I think that's a sign that it is now time to end this and it is playtime.
Yeah, otherwise we're going to have some bitten toes soon.
Bitten toes, bitten hands, and no sleep because she needs to play. So that's a good way to end it. Thank you for the segue, Grease. I guess that's where we can end that off, and we'll see you next week.
Next week to cover chapters again, 16 through 21.
Yep.
And we're one step closer to the wrap, and I'll also announce the next month's book as well. So
next week, yeah.
Stay tuned.
Yeah.
But that'll be it. Bye-bye.
All right. See you.